Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to use PowerPoint to create a video game. To do it, there's two main steps. To make it so that a mouse click does not advance to the next slide, you want to go up to Transitions and then uncheck the box that says On Mouse Click. Now, no matter how many times they click the screen, it won't advance to the next slide. The other thing you want to do is set up the slideshow. So set up slideshow, and you want it to be browsed at a kiosk. When you do that, no matter how many times they click on the screen, little boxes don't pop up that would allow them to escape out of the maze. They're going to have to complete the maze in order to get to the next slide. Click OK. Once you've set up the features on one slide, it's going to be on any slides we make. So we come over to this slide, we hit Control-C for copy, Control-V for paste, and none of the other slides will need these little text boxes, so we get rid of that. Control-C for copy, V for paste, Control-V for paste. So now I have 4 slides. I'm going to go back to the first one and create a title screen. We're going to call it Maze Mania. And then here, I'm going to eventually have a click to start button, but I don't like that color, so let's go with, we'll highlight that and then change it to red. Click here to start. Make this box a little bit smaller. Now eventually there will be a start button, but we don't know exactly where it is until we've designed the maze. I'm going to go Control-C, Control-V for paste, and I'm going to change this to be click here to exit, and then we'll change this to a blue color. I can either just hover over until that menu pops up, right click on the menu, it'll pop up, or I can go back to home and change the font color here, all 3 of which I want it to go more colors, standard, I like that standard blue. And then I'm just going to put it off to the side for now until we get a little bit further along. Anytime you create a video game, you want to add instructions. In this one, I'm going to insert a text box for my instructions, and it's going to be something simple like, don't touch the walls. It's kind of a duh. This is a maze. Don't touch the walls. Except I want the font to be a little bit bigger. I'm going to highlight all of that. I could right click on it. You can already see that it's popped up. And we'll make that about a 36. Now, we have 4 slides to create. Slide 2 is going to be our maze. And you'll want one maze to go to the next maze to go to the next maze. So you're going to create a bunch of slides before this slide, or between slide 1 and slide 3. But for now, we want slide 3 to be the congratulations you've won. So if you beat the maze in slide 2, slide 3 says congratulations. If you end up making 50 mazes, then the congratulations you won will always be like the last slide that you created before the you lose slide. So in this one, I'm going to insert a rectangle, and mine is set to default to this color blue. And if you like that, that's fine. You can put all sorts of pictures, anything you want back here. I'm going to put a shape. I'm going to put a circle right here, but I want it to be centered. If you see that opened up with it to tell me it was centered, that lets me know that it's perfectly centered top and bottom, side to side. And then in here I want to type something like congratulations, except I spelt it wrong, congratulations, comma, you won. And click here to play again. Now we want to actually make this so that that works, that when they click here it's going to play again, but I don't like how big that font is there. I maybe make it a 24, 28 gets too big, 24 is fine. So I've got a congratulations, you win. I'm going to highlight the circle, right click on the circle, and then I'm going to hyperlink that to a place in the document, back to the first slide. That's what the first slide says. Hit OK. So now if someone clicks on this, click here to play again, it takes them back to the first slide. Okay, I'm going to copy that circle because I want the same circle here, except I don't want it to be blue. I'm going to make this one, let's go with the fill color of red. And I don't want to say congratulations, you win. I want it to say sorry, you lost. Click here to play again. Okay, so now I've created a you win slide. I've created a you lose slide. I'm going to insert a shape, a rectangle. And when I do that, it covers up everything. I don't want it to be blue anyways. I want it to be red. And then I want to move this to the back. Send to back. So I can see my sorry you lost. Click here to play again. When I copied and pasted the hyperlink from before, if I click here, it should send me back to the first page. So now let's start creating our maze. To create a maze, you're going to insert a shape again, a rectangle. I'm going to make a long, skinny rectangle that I'm going to make all of my modifications to. This can be any color you want. Let's go with black. So change the fill color to black. Change the outline color to black. And now I'm set. I'm going to insert, and action. I don't want to, if it's on mouse click, which is where we've been hyperlinking stuff before, they have to click on the walls to lose. And obviously no one's going to click on the wall to lose. So you want to change that to a mouse over. Change the mouse over, hyperlink to, and then you want it to be the last slide. Now if anybody drags their mouse over this wall, it automatically kicks them to the you lose screen. Well, to let them know they lost, I'm going to actually add a sound. I'm going to add a, how about an explosion? And then I'm going to hit OK. So as they play the maze, if they accidentally go over that line, boom, they get teleported to the you lose slide, and then there's an explosion sound. I'm going to take this, put it right along the edge, Control C, Control V. I'm going to copy and paste a bunch of these. I'm going to put it around the edge, Control V. If I right click on it and I go to size and position, it allows me to rotate it. I want to rotate it 90 degrees. So now it's sideways. Put my lines wherever I need them. They could be as skinny or as fat as you'd like. Control C for copy, Control V for paste. And you can put it in any sort of order you want. Now I'm going to fast forward a little bit till I have a completed maze. Okay, so now I just copied and pasted a bunch of walls to create a maze form. There's two important things I need to add to this. One is going to be a start point, and one is going to be the point that takes me to the next slide. So I'm going to insert a shape. I'm going to just put a little circle right here. And it's not quite centered, so I use my arrow keys to do that. And I'm going to on this one, I'm going to insert an action. On a mouse click, I would like to hyperlink to the next slide. And it doesn't make sense yet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to click OK. I'm going to Control C for copy, and then Control X for delete. It's gone completely. I'm going to go back to my first slide and hit Control V for paste. Well, right there is where my start point is, and then I'm going to move this click here to start to be right here. Click there to start. This title can move down here, and I'm going to put the click here to exit. I'm just going to throw it on the bottom. So Maze Mania, click here to start. They're going to click on that button. It'll take them to the next slide, which is here. Control C for copy. Control V for paste. But I don't want that one to be there. I'm going to put this one then as my exit. And we'll make this one, how about a green color with a green border. So when I'm on this slide, I click there to start. It takes me straight into the maze. I do the maze, I get to here, I click, and it takes me to the next slide, which currently is the congratulations, you've won. Let's see what that looks like. I go to slideshow from beginning. I'm on here, I click here to start. I go through the maze. If I bump the wall, boom. Click here to play again. I go through the maze. I go through the maze. And when I finally get to the finish line, so close. Get to the finish line, I click here. Boom, congratulations, you've won. Click here to play again, you're back at the beginning. The last thing I'm going to need to do, I escape out of that, I need to click here to exit. So I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to put, I want to insert an action. This time on a mouse click, I want to hyperlink to and click in show. That way when they click there, it's going to end the show. Click OK. And these are the maze basics.